Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Airship Nights with a farming setup. So if you're Airship Nights player or perhaps idle gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Right then guys, managed to squeeze few levels already and put a quite decent team. So before I go and show you all the characters I'm using, I want to give you few tips beforehand. So the first tip is definitely that you want to go and focus on your 6 main characters. You don't want to go and level every single character in a game, as this way you're gonna be progressing much more quicker. So don't get me wrong here, especially when you're just starting out, you will be leveling different characters as you're gonna keep promoting them, as obviously RNG will kick in. Then you will be shifting from one character to another. Nothing to worry about, because you can always go and with handful of diamonds reset the character and then move your resources somewhere else. So when you're just starting out, it's normal, and later on you just want to focus on primary team. The second tip is to go with ideally 1 element or go with maximum of 2. And that's pretty much what you see on the screen. I have gone with fire as well as water, as basically putting a certain characters together, they will ideally complement each other. And then finally the third tip is, whilst you're farming, you can actually completely skip putting your tanks in a setup. So what you see obviously is all damage dealers and support characters. So having that out of the way, let's get straight and review the characters I'm currently owning. So we're gonna head into a night selection and obviously kick off with a main character. So as you're gonna keep progressing, you obviously want to promote your character absolutely as quick as possible, and ideally this character will be dealing plenty of damage, especially in the early stages. Later on the gameplay will change and you're gonna rely more heavily on your knights, but your main character, captain itself, will be dealing plenty of damage. And obviously you want to promote him as soon as possible because of these great effects. Actually the main character will boost entire team, doesn't really matter, you know, what element you are. This is where you want to get and unlock these 4 promote effects as soon as possible, and that's gonna obviously give you a lot of damage, a lot of attack speed, critical, etc. So you want to take your main character to a next level as soon as possible. Okay, so now moving into my first character, and this is Sewell. And I don't think this character actually needs introduction. If you're gonna keep checking a chat in a game, you will see a lot of players keep investing very heavily into that character, as well as in arena it's absolute beast. And this is down to the third skill, which actually gives him invincibility, and as well obviously running a hybrid here, fire and water, the 4th skill will give me even additional critical damage. And the main combat skill itself on a basic level will give you a great damage boost, and actually once you awaken it, it will also remove one of the target buffs, so it's an absolute must-have in your team. Okay, so we're gonna move on into a next character, and this is Gloria. So let's just go into basic skills to start off. So Gloria combat skill is absolutely great because it will boost a attack speed 3 times to 1 random ally except herself. Actually on Awaken skill she will also boost her own attack speed, which is absolutely great, and also on top of that main skill she will also get you bonuses from a different effects. So her second skill will give you additional attack speed to one of the random allies. Then the next one will give you a 50% chance to increase a buff's duration on all allies, as well as finally the 4th one will also boost a critical rate to all fire type knights. And bear in mind again, we're running here hybrid, so we got a 3 fire and 3 water characters. Okay, moving on here, and the next one we've got is a Drake. And Drake gonna be another damage dealer when it comes to a water element. So his main skill, it will give you a damage deal. It's weaker than a Sewell itself, but actually with Awakening you also get a chance of stunning all melee enemies. So that's gonna be a great obviously when it comes to PvP. So it's worth leveling Drake for this matter. And then when it comes to a normal skills as well, he will also have a boost when it comes to increasing melee allies 20% of attack and defense, and that's pretty much to all of the melee allies in your team. Then he will actually have a chance of removing his own debuff, as well as finally boosting additional attack to all water type knights. Alright then, so moving on to a next character, and the next one is a Narin, and this is a damage dealer when it comes to a fire element. So before awakening, the skill itself will inflict a damage, but after awakening you've got a chance of inflicting burn, and as you see, this character also boosts everybody else with this very skill, but you got also a chance of removing a target buff. So it's obviously a great, especially when it comes to a PvP, as well as facing that boss that you're trying to beat to go into next levels. And then when it comes to a basic skill, the second skill is one of the beneficial to entire team, as this will grant a burn to all melee characters, as well as boosting additional attack. So you will see that during a farming, whilst you're having actually this character, that this burn effect is constantly applied on enemies, and that gives you obviously additional damage. Alright, and moving to a next character, we've got a fire supporter, and Fabian itself and a combat skill will boost attack to a one random ally except herself 3 times. As well, when you get this skill to finally awakening level, you're gonna boost attack and skill rate up to all nearby allies except herself for 3 times. And this is absolute a must-have skill at your arsenal. And also when it comes to a secondary effect in here, you will also have a chance of increasing a critical rate to all nearby fire attribute allies. So again, talking about this hybrid build, 3 characters gonna benefit from that very skill. And finally, we're moving into a 6th character, and this is a Fatima. So the combat skill will actually remove one of the debuff from a nearby allies, and then when it comes to awakening, we've got a chance as well to grant a skill rate up 3 times, as well as removing that debuff. And also when it comes to a secondary effect, we've got a chance of boosting a 30% of attack to all nearby water attribute allies. So that's pretty much gonna be when it comes to a top 6 I currently own. There are also 2 characters I want to show you, as these might be your alternatives, especially as the game gonna throw RNG cards at yourself. So I'm gonna come back here to a main selection of the characters, and let's review it through collection itself. So first character I want to talk about is gonna be a Ciola, and actually I don't even have unlocked that yet, but when we talk about the 4th skill, when you finally upgrade her all the way through, you're talking here about additional attack speed to all water type knights. And the second character you might want to look into, despite this now being a different element, but it's definitely a great boost when it comes to overall farming strategy, is gonna be Sunwa. And this is due to a, again, combat skill, as this will boost your critical rate, as well as a third effect which will boost your attack speed. So obviously you want to have this character temporarily before you'll be able to exchange into one of the fire or water elements. So that will be it, guys. You know, if you go and have a look and start upgrading these characters, and then mainly go into your main character as well as Suwol, then you will see your progression should start coming much quicker. Alright then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.